Hello friends, welcome to the Western Overseas Study Abroad. I, Simpi Nanda, welcome you all in today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we will discuss reading exam tips 2022. So 2022 is here. This is a time when we have to crack our IELTS with the best scores, and this is a hot topic, reading tips. So in today's tutorial, we will discuss reading tips, especially for the year 2022. We will use a genuine Cambridge content that will help you to understand the basic strategies of the reading question types. As you know, in reading, we have different type of questions, and I always suggest, being an IELTS expert, that it is important to understand every type of question. If I start with a true-false, candidates, true-false are having a one strategy that we have to discuss. We have to understand that how to find out the answer for the true. Candidates, for the true, it is very important to check paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means a same meaning, but we have different words for it. Either a synonym, either a change in verb form, correct? But it is important to check or to learn the ways of paraphrasing for your reading. For the true, it is important to have paraphrasing. The second most important tip of the day, focus on contextual meanings. Contextually, what the word is giving you the meaning, correct? Contextual means, for example, in a question, it is something mentioned that related to the time, correct? Then in a contextually, we have to check. For example, here it is mentioned, Phyllis favored Linton. Phyllis favored Linton. This shows me a positive tone that someone is favoring the another one. If I go to the passage, I have a word, Phyllis having a strong favor to thee, or in a strong position. So if I have this strong position, or here in a question we have favor, means both are giving me contextually the same meaning. So candidates, it's very important for the true to check paraphrasing and contextual meaning. We will discuss with some practical examples also, so don't worry. Practical examples आज हम discuss करेंगे reading strategies को लेकर, how to crack IELTS reading with the best scores in the year 2022. True के लिए it is important to check paraphrasing and contextual meanings. For the false, it is important to check contradiction. Contradiction means some negative antonyms. In the same way, for the false, many of the time we have answers with a negative connotation, means the negative tone. So false के लिए हम check करेंगे contradiction का है, antonyms हैं, correct? ये बहुत important factor है reading के true false करने के लिए. Not given है, not given as the name suggests candidates कि वो component miss होगा, और मुझे लगता है this is one of the biggest problems students are facing कि ma'am we get confused between not given and false. So candidates, always keep in your mind, whenever you have a doubt related to the not given or the false, make sure contradiction है तो answer is going to be false. Not given means आपका कुछ information miss है, उस information के बारे में passage में कोई डिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं है. अगर पैसेज में डिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं है, आंसर विल बी नॉट गिवन. आपका क्वेश्चन कंपैरेटिव सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर है, आप पैसेज में जाते हैं, पैसेज में कोई भी कंपैरेटिव सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, मींस आंसर नॉट गिवन है. ये सब स्ट्रेटजीज 2022 में आपको हेल्प करेंगी रीडिंग में 9 बैंड लेने के लिए. अब हम चलते हैं अपने एक टेस्ट पेपर की तरफ. एक कैम्ब्रिज का जेन्युइन कंटेंट लेते हैं, करेक्ट? टुडे आई हैव वन पैसेज फ्रॉम द कैम्ब्रिज बुक. आई विल ट्राई टू बी डिस्कस दिस पैराग्राफ विद यू, दैट हाउ टू क्रैक ट्रू फॉल्स, how to crack true false with more accuracy. Candidates, In a true false, it is important to manage time along with accuracy. दोनों चीजें साथ में चलेंगी. Time भी manage होना चाहिए. Correct? Don't forget 20 minutes for the one passage, or in my opinion 18 minutes. You should spend 18 minutes ideally on a one passage. Always reading. Work with stopwatch. Always. Don't take it that I will do on every Saturday with the mock test, ma'am. No. You have to practice on a daily basis with a time constraint. 18 minutes for the one passage. On the other hand, always have an eye on correction ratio. Correction ratio बहुत important है. ऐसा ना हो कि हमने बस attempt ही करा और correction की तरफ ध्यान ही नहीं दिया. Attempt तो ma'am, I attempted all the 20 questions. Okay, beta, what you scored? But I scored only 5. I scored only 6. I scored only 8. So focus on your correction ratio a lot. This is very important that your correction should be on a high note. Ready? So let's move to the one of the Cambridge content. Let me share my screen with you. So here is the passage. We have a paragraph. Why we need to protect polar bears. Candidates, in reading, it is very important to understand the passage title. I always say, look at the title, understand the title, look at the subtitle, and then focus on the picture or any diagram, any map is given in a passage. Please pay attention to it. Why? Because this will give you understanding or a glimpse of the paragraph. Correct now? So pay attention to the title. Always pay attention to title, subtitle, or the picture given. Now, once we understand that, okay, the topic is about polar bears. Now the topic is about the why, means we have different reasons that why to protect polar bears. But it is important to understand that the whole paragraph is going to be about polar bears. Then why we need to protect means there are some positives, impacts of this polar bears is given in a whole paragraph. This is about the skimming of the whole passage just by understanding the title. So candidates, it's very important कि आप पहले title, subtitle और कोई भी अगर picture या कुछ भी कोई map given है तो उसको जरूर समझें, understand करें. Understanding important है. जैसे ही आप reading का passage का title पढ़ते हैं, टाइटल पढ़ने से, सबटाइटल पढ़ने से आपको पूरे पैसेज का एक ग्लिम्स मिल जाता है कि पैसेज है किसके बारे में, एक आइडिया मिल जाता है. सेम वैसे ही जैसे हम न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग करते हैं. क्या आप न्यूज़पेपर में सब कुछ पढ़ते हैं? हम न्यूज़पेपर को जब रीड करते हैं तो मोस्टली हम उसके टाइटल्स पढ़ते हैं, हेडिंग्स पढ़ते हैं, पिक्चर्स देखते हैं. सेम यू हैव टू गो विद योर रीडिंग पैसेज. करेक्ट? तो अभी हमने टाइटल देखा. नाउ दिस इज अ टाइम टू मूव टू दी क्वेश्चंस. कैंडिडेट्स, अभी हम आज की वीडियो हमने स्टार्ट ही ट्रू फॉल्स से करा था. इस पैसेज में भी वी हैव ट्रू फॉल्स 1 to 7. सो वी विल डिस्कस सम ट्रू फॉल्स विद द सेम स्ट्रेटजीज एज वी डिस्कस्ड इन द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द ट्यूटोरियल. दैट फॉर द ट्रू वी विल फोकस ऑन पैराफ्रेजिंग. फॉर द ट्रू वी विल फोकस ऑन contextual meanings. For false we will look for contradictions. For the not given, we will search for the missing information. Correct ना? So same strategies हम यहाँ आज follow करेंगे. If you check question number 1 candidates, very important, passage को हमने सिर्फ title देखा है और हम questions पे move हो गए हैं. Questions में now I am making my keywords. What the topic is about polar bears. So yes, we have already taken it is a title. Suffer from various health problems. Who suffer from health problems? Polar bears. Correct? So they suffer from various health problems. Now why? Why they suffer? A complex sentence, reason is given. A complex sentence, reason is given. What is the reason? What is the reason? Due to, what is the reason? Build up fat under their skin. So this is the reason. That's why they suffer from the various health problems. These are my now keywords. This is my question that they are suffering from various health problems. Why? Because of their fat. Now, I have to search these 2 keywords in my passage. Now, searching means scanning. What I have to do? I'll go back to the paragraph. हम पैराग्राफ में वापस जाएंगे and then start searching my keywords. Where is mention? Where is the mention? Where is mention? What? Due to. Due to means a reason. See, always try to go for a one complete line. This one complete line will help you to understand what is the answer. Correct, candidates? If you look here, this is a keywords given. This is the keyword given here. So I am taking these lines for you for the better understanding, because आज के ट्यूटोरियल में हम अच्छे से सीखेंगे कि 2022 में रीडिंग के ट्रू फॉल्स कैसे क्रैक करें. तो this is the statement I have now. I request you all, सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि अब आप अपने कीवर्ड्स को मैच करें. वो कह रहे हैं सफर फ्रॉम वेरियस हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स. व्हाई? बिकॉज दे हैव fat under their skin. I have a word here, fat underneath their skin. Candidates, I request आप अपनी वीडियो को पोस्ट करें और इस तरह के कीवर्ड्स के नोट्स बनाएं. इससे आपका वोकैबुलरी अच्छा हो जाएगा. वोकैबुलरी बूस्ट करने के लिए one of the best way is to give more emphasis or more focus on reading. अगर आप रीडिंग पे ज्यादा फोकस कर रहे हैं, means you are going to improve your vocabulary for writing and for the speaking. तो आपको वीडियो को बार बार पॉज करके इस तरह के vocabulary के नोट्स बनाने हैं. यहाँ पर लिखा है build up fat under their skin. Here it is mentioned underneath their skin. Correct. Now they are saying polar bears suffer from the various health problems. If you check, they are saying the polar bear experiences no such consequences. No such consequences means they are not suffering from any of the health problems. Then who suffers? They are saying humans with comparative level of adipose tissue. Correct. So they are saying who suffers? Polar bear? No, polar bear not suffer. In fact, human beings suffer from diabetes, from the heart disease. Yet the polar bear experiences no such consequences. Now tell me, what is the answer? हाँ, this is a time for the self practice. आप वीडियो देखते रहें और साथ साथ अपनी प्रैक्टिस भी करें. तो यहाँ पर आंसर क्या आएगा? Our answer will be false because they are saying no such consequences, because such a negative tone available at this place. No such consequences. Here they are saying polar bears suffer. So not about polar bears, they are talking about the humans, that human suffers. In fact, polar bears no. So this answer is going to be false. Let's move to the another question. The question number 2. The study done by Louis and his colleagues. So this is my topic. Keyword now. Louis and his colleagues. Compared, what they compared? They compared different groups of polar bears. Different groups. Different groups. Now candidates, keep in mind, in IELTS true false, in IELTS reading, 90% answers are in a serial order. So what you have to do, try to look the second answer highly possibility into the next lines only in a serial order. Correct, dear? So no need to be go here and there. Better is to be go with the same one. Correct. Now if you check here, they are talking about a study by Louis and his colleagues. Getting the line? Now they compared. Who is they? They is the Louis and his colleagues. So such type of pronouns are important to check. This is called as referencing. Very useful in your task too. So try to use a lot. If you have a pencil, prepare your notes. Now check here. I'm not taking Louis and his colleagues. So here it is a referencing for Louis and his colleagues. They are saying they. They compared. What they compared? They compared different groups. But here they are saying they compared closest relatives. Now candidates, over to you. Tell me, what is the answer? Yes. Once again, the answer is false. Hope आप सबने यही लिखा होगा. Answer is false. Now why? Louis and his colleagues is they. If you do, I'm assuring you candidates, if you do reading in this way, I'm telling you, I'm giving you assurance that this will improve your bands in writing and the speaking, because you are learning different sentence structures. You are learning vocabulary, you are learning referencing, pronouns, how to use. They are saying different groups. They are saying closest relatives, means my answer is again false due to this word. Whenever you do practice now, candidates, I suggest to you do practice in this way. One of the best way to crack IELTS in the year 2022 with these strategies. Now look at the question number 3. Again, they are talking about Louis and colleagues. But what is now given? What is the main component? Candidates keyword बनाने हैं reading में, ये सबको मालूम है. सब बोलते हैं keywords बनाएंगे, but कौन सा keyword कहाँ पर important है? This is a first or the best thing to learn. अब यहाँ लिखा है Louis and colleagues. I am not taking this as a keyword. Why? Because this has already been used in my second question. So don't focus again and again on the same keyword. I'm not focusing on the polar bear again because polar bear is my title. So no need to be focused on it. Now, what is the most important keyword? The most important keyword here is were the first researchers. They were the first researchers. Now, this is going to be my keyword. Correct? What they did as a first researchers to compare polar bears and brown bears. Now I have a comparison between these two type of bears genetically. Now I have the two important keywords that they were the first researchers. What they did as a first researchers, they compare polar bears and brown bears. Correct? Again, I'm going back to the passage. Correct? Again, I have a keyword Louis and colleagues. Correct? Again, I have a keyword. They compared the genetic structures of polar bears. Correct? Let me take this keyword. I request you to please check and tell me what is the answer and why. Now check. They are saying they compared. What they compared? But they compared. If you check here it is mentioned in the last question we have discussed different group of polar bears, but they are making a comparison here, and here is a comparison required. So yes, they are talking about polar bears. Yes, they are talking about the brown bears. Yes, I have polar bear, brown bears. They are comparative genetically. So yes, genetic structure is also mentioned here. Correct. Now they are saying were the first researchers candidates. Tell me where this keyword is given, were the first researchers. However, this complete information is mentioned. If you remember the last question, in a last question, the last question was false due to this reason only, because they are saying different groups of polar bear. In fact, they are saying polar bears with that of their closest relatives. Now here, the things are very clear. This is a complete clause we have in our passage. Genetic structure, polar bears with the brown bears. But are they talking about the first researchers? क्या कहीं पर ये मेंशन है कि वो फर्स्ट रिसर्चर्स थे? जब इस तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे पास मिस होती है तभी हम आंसर क्या देते हैं कैंडिडेट्स? नॉट गिवन. अब आप चेक करें, अगर यही स्टेटमेंट यहाँ पर पैसेज में हमारे पास अवेलेबल होता, वर द सेकंड रिसर्चर, वर द थर्ड रिसर्चर, देन वी कैन गो विद फॉल्स. बिकॉज ट्यूटोरियल के स्टार्टिंग में ही, वीडियो के बिगिनिंग में ही मैंने आप सबको बताया था कि फॉल्स का मतलब ही है कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. कैंडिडेट्स ऑलवेज डू अ प्रैक्टिस फॉर द फॉल्स, लुक फॉर कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन, लुक फॉर कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. यहाँ पर क्लियरली मेंशन है genetic structure polar bears, brown bears, polar bear, brown bears genetically, but this component is missed. This information is missing. Just because of this reason our answer is not given, because information is missing, not available. That's why I'm saying it's not given. Question number 4. Polar bears, again they are talking about polar bears, but what they are able to do, they are able to control. They are able to control. So now this is my most important keyword here, that what they are able to control. What they can control? They can control the bad cholesterol. They can control the bad cholesterol. How? What is the method? By genetic means. So now I have keyword bad cholesterol. I have they are able to control by the genetic means. Is this clear? Candidates, please try to understand how to make keywords Keyword means that is the important element in a complete sentence. जो भी आपके पास क्वेश्चन है, सेंटेंस है, उसमें इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट क्या है, वो इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट ही आपका कीवर्ड है. कैंडिडेट्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक प्रिस्क्राइब टाइम के अंदर हमें अपनी करेक्शन रेशियो को बढ़ाना है, इंप्रूव करना है. वो कैसे इंप्रूव होगा? बाय डूइंग लॉट्स ऑफ प्रैक्टिस. प्रैक्टिस इज द की, बट डू द प्रैक्टिस इन अ राइट वे. करेक्ट ना? प्रैक्टिस इन अ राइट वे विल लीड टू द सक्सेस. अब प्रैक्टिस तो हम कर रहे हैं, बट हमें फार्मूला पता ही नहीं है. हम बार बार ट्राई कर रहे हैं, बस किसी तरह से ट्रांसलेशन हो जाए, हिंदी आ जाए, पंजाबी आ जाए. अवॉइड इट बेटा. ट्राई टू लर्न इंग्लिश बाय इंग्लिश. करेक्ट. उसको मैचिंग करना सीखें, पैराफ्रेजिंग करें, टोन चेक करें कि वो किस तरह की टोन में बात कर रहे हैं. जैसे यहाँ पर लिखा है एबल टू कंट्रोल. व्हाट दे कंट्रोल? बैड कोलेस्ट्रॉल. हाउ दे कंट्रोल? बाय द जेनेटिक मीन्स. अगेन गो बैक टू द पैसेज. Try to find out their bad cholesterol. Try to find out. This we have already done. As I'm telling you over and over, 90% answers are in a serial order. So please focus here only. Correct? You will get the correct answers in a serial way. Correct? Now if you check in the next line, it is clearly mentioned. Louis and his colleagues found that polar bears had a gene known as ABOP, which reduces level of low density proteins, a form of bad cholesterol. Correct? So they are able to control. Yes, they are able to control. Clear, candidates? I am requesting you all to please focus or pay attention to the questions. Once you know the keywords, the things will become very easy for you to understand. Correct? So bad cholesterol, we have taken the answer from here. Why I am showing you these lines by giving different colors? Just to explain you that 90% answers are in a serial order. These tips will really help you to crack the IELTS reading. जब भी आप true false करें, आप आंसर्स को इसी वे में सर्च करने की ट्राई करें. यहीं से स्कैनिंग होगा. स्कैनिंग का मतलब ये है, यू हैव टू फाइंड योर ओन कीवर्ड्स. करेक्ट कैंडिडेट्स? अब यहाँ पर ये लिखा है आर एबल टू कंट्रोल. यहाँ पर भी मेंशन यही था, आर एबल टू कंट्रोल बैड कोलेस्ट्रॉल बाय जेनेटिक मींस. वहां पे लिखा है जेनेटिकली, सो मींस माय आंसर विल बी ट्रू. तो आप यहाँ पे आंसर मेंशन करेंगे ट्रू. Now for the next question, they are saying female polar bears. Now again the topic is about polar bears, but what the special about this, that they are talking about now female polar bears. What is the quality of female polar bears? Able to survive. When they can survive for about 6 months. Time is given, 6 months. How? Without food. So they are talking about female now. I have to find female. I have to find about able to survive 6 months without food. Again, going back to the same paragraph, because we know that 90% answers are in a serial order. Correct? Now I have to find out that where it is mentioned, where it is mentioned, where it is mentioned. Correct na? 6 months without. Yes, it is mentioned here if you check. Once autumn comes around, these females will dig maternity dens in the snow and will remain there throughout the winter, both before and after the birth of their cubs. This process results in about 6 months of fasting. 6 months of fasting. Are you getting 6 months of fasting? Now, candidates, if you check, 6 months of fasting means here without food. 6 months of fasting means without food. So such type of, where they are talking about female polar bears able to survive 6 months without food. Here it is mentioned 6 months of fasting. Correct? So again, contextually, this answer is match, means your question and the lines or the keywords from the paragraph. Clear? Sixth question. It was found that the bones of female polar bears, again, they are talking about female, but now the main keyword here is bones, were very weak, very weak. Conditional sentence is given. See, this is a way how you can learn कंडीशनल सेंटेंसेस. ये कंडीशनल सेंटेंस है, कंडीशन लगा रखी है when they came out of their dens. When they came out of their dens, so their bones become very weak. So this is my topic. They are saying it was found that. It was found that, introductory phrase as you were using in your task 1. Very weak, came out of their dens. Correct. Now if you check here, again keep in mind 90% answers are in a serial order. So we have 6 months of fasting. My last answer was here. If you check in a next paragraph only, you will check, they discovered, in addition, 6 months later, when they finally emerged from the den with their cubs, there was no evidence of significant loss of bone density. No evidence. No evidence. Candidates, यहाँ पर है no evidence. Correct? और यहाँ पर आपके पास क्वेश्चन में मेंशन था, if you remember, हमारे पास क्वेश्चन में मेंशन क्या था? It was found that. अब मुझे बताएं, यहाँ लिखा है it was found that, और यहाँ पर एक नेगेटिव टोन है, वो कह रहे हैं there was no evidence. So what you will do? करेक्ट. सी ना, उन्होंने कैसे कंटेक्चुअली चेंज करा. दे आर सेइंग बोन्स ऑफ फीमेल, दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द बोन डेंसिटी, दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वीक, दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लॉस. They are saying it was found that. They are saying there is no evidence. Means my answer will be a false. Why? Because of the negative tone. They are saying no evidence. They are saying it was found that. In this way, you have to understand how to find out the correct answers from the paragraph. आपको पैसेज कंप्लीटली रीड नहीं करना है कैंडिडेट्स, रीड नहीं करना है. मैं कह रही हूं कि जो पैसेज में 13 लाइंस हैं, वो 13 लाइंस, जो 13 लाइंस आपके क्वेश्चंस के कीवर्ड्स को मैच कर रही हैं, दैट 13 लाइंस आर गोइंग टू बी योर आंसर्स. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दोस 13 लाइंस. हमें उसको 13 सेंटेंसेस को अच्छे से अंडरस्टैंड करना है. अगर हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई, हमने कीवर्ड्स को मैच कर लिया, मींस वी आर वेरी क्लोज टू द परफेक्ट स्कोर. और वो कैसे आएगा? बाय डूइंग द प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस एंड प्रैक्टिस of having the same formulas. The last question of this category, the polar bear's mechanism. The polar bear's mechanism for increasing bone density, used by people one day. Used by people one day. See what type of projection it is. Could also be used by people one day. Such type of projections are very important for your task 2 and many of the times in the speaking. हम स्पीकिंग में भी इस तरह के फ्रेसेस यूज करते हैं. They are saying when used one day. If you check in a next paragraph, it is mentioned in this answer. If you check this paragraph, this was my last answer. There was no evidence. ये last answer था candidates. No evidence. इससे पहले यहाँ था. मैं कलरिंग इसीलिए कर रही हूँ so that you can understand कि कैसे आंसर सीरीज में है. आपको आंसर्स को ऐसे ही ट्रेस करना है पैसेज में से. ट्रू फॉल्स आपको ऐसे ही मिलेंगे. अब इसी पैसेज में अगर आप चेक करेंगे मैकेनिज्म की बात, तो यहां पर लिखा हुआ है मैकेनिज्म, जो हमारे क्वेश्चन का भी कीवर्ड था. उसने लिखा है क्या करेंगे हम? मैनी बेड रिडन ह्यूमंस एंड इवन एस्ट्रोनॉट्स कुड पोटेंशियली बेनिफिट. कुड पोटेंशियली बेनिफिट. अगेन प्रोजेक्शन. कुड पोटेंशियली बेनिफिट. पॉजिटिव टोन. Future projection, positive tone, same is mentioned here, could also be used by people one day. So what will be my answer? My answer will be true. Correct. So candidates, this is a way how we can find out our answers by looking at the keywords, by looking at the meanings, by looking at the some contextual meanings, by looking at the missing information. Now, the question number 8 to 13 of the same passage, we have fill in the blanks. Candidates, अभी तक true false में जैसे हम बात करते हैं, contradiction search करो, paraphrasing करो, आप लोग missing information के लिए sentence structures को check करें. जब भी हम fill in the blanks की बात करेंगे, fill in the blanks में it is important to check the grammar. Grammar means prepositions, articles, subject verb agreement. These terms will help you to find out the correct answer. Because reading के fill in the blanks में मेजॉरिटी स्टूडेंट्स को यही प्रॉब्लम है कि मैम रीडिंग का में पैसेज हम पढ़ रहे थे, हमें लाइन भी मिल गया, पता लग गया है कि आंसर इसी लाइन में है, बट कौन सा वर्ड आंसर है ये नहीं समझ आ रहा, कौन सा वर्ड आंसर है ये नहीं समझ आता। बस हम या तो एक वर्ड पहले लिख देते हैं या एक वर्ड बाद में लिख देते हैं। तो कैंडिडेट्स, इसी प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन है फोकस ऑन आर्टिकल्स। अ एंड द हेल्प करेगा, बताएगा आंसर क्या है। सब्जेक्ट वर्ब अग्रीमेंट, सिंगुलर आएगा प्लूरल आएगा, ये चीजें बताएंगी आपको कि उस लाइन में से कौन सा पर्टिकुलर वर्ड आपका आंसर है। आपको नाउन चाहिए, आपको वर्ब चाहिए, आपको सब्जेक्ट चाहिए, आपको ऑब्जेक्ट चाहिए। रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है क्वेश्चन की, सेंटेंस की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है। अगर हमें रिक्वायरमेंट पता है तो हम पैसेज में से आंसर को सर्च कर पाएंगे। यहां पर मेंशन है कंप्लीट द टेबल, चूज वन वर्ड ओनली। कैंडिडेट्स, रीडिंग इंस्ट्रक्शंस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बहुत बार हमारे मार्क्स स्पेशली लिसनिंग में और रीडिंग में हम लोग लूज कर देते हैं जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सिली मिस्टेक। वहां लिखा है वन वर्ड, हम लोग कभी टू वर्ड्स में आंसर दे देते हैं, करेक्ट, कभी उससे भी ज्यादा में दे देते हैं। तो फोकस, पे अटेंशन टू द इंस्ट्रक्शंस गिवन इन द रीडिंग एंड द लिसनिंग बोथ। अब यहाँ रीजंस लिखे हैं, बाइपोलर बियर्स शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड। होप यू रिमेंबर, हमारा टाइटल भी यही था। People think of bears as unintelligent and dash. One is given. See, unintelligent. One adjective is given. I have to check for the another adjective. Another. Unintelligent. One is given already. Unintelligent. I have to find out the another. Yes, very nice. If you check candidates here, it is given in this line. I'm taking the same line for you all and requesting you to please check. Telling you कि अगर आप पेंसिल लेके बैठेंगे, पेन लेकर बैठेंगे वीडियो में तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये देखिए, आप नोट्स बना पाएंगे। यहाँ लिखा है अनइंटेलिजेंट, यहाँ पर लिखा है सीम टू बी परसीव्ड एज स्टूपिड। सेम टोन, गिविंग अ नेगेटिव टोन, अनइंटेलिजेंट। हियर इट्स आल्सो अ नेगेटिव टोन वर्ड, stupid. People think of bears as unintelligent. One is given as stupid. And is also given here as a conjunction. Now, I need some else. One more. One more is what? Violent. So, this is going to be my answer. This is the way how you have to find out the answers from the paragraph, candidates. आपको अपना कीवर्ड स्कैन करना है। अगर हमें अपना कीवर्ड मिल गया है पैसेज में, आप वो सेंटेंस लें और उस सेंटेंस में मैच कर लें। एक एडजेक्टिव यहाँ लिखा था, हमें दूसरा भी चाहिए था। यहाँ पर अनइंटेलिजेंट के लिए नेगेटिव टोन का ही वर्ड एक स्टूपिड लिखा है, हमने नेक्स्ट एडजेक्टिव उठाया, दैट इज वायलेंट। क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 देखते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 के लिए यहाँ पर लिखा है however this may not be correct. For example, in Tonizo Zoo, this is my place given. A bear has been using a branch as a dash. A branch as a dash. A branch as a dash means how he's using a branch. How? Using a branch as a dash. Again, going back to the passage. If you remember, my last answer was here. I have to check now here a branch as a dash. Now what they are using as a dash. If you check here, this is the example. Tennessee Zoo. Oscar has been observed making use a tool to manipulate his environment. The bear used a tree branch on multiple occasions to dislodge a piece of meat hunt. Now you can see that how they are using a branch. They are using a branch as a tool, So this will help you to understand कि how we can find out the answer. See, article, मैंने पहले ही कहा था, preposition और articles आपकी हेल्प करेंगी। ये लिखा हुआ है of a tool. Bear used a tree branch. उसने branch को use करा, कैसे use करा? As a tool. Clear? Candidates, ये important है कि हम चेक करें कि हमारे आंसर्स क्या हैं। Then this allowed him to knock down. Knock down एक phrasal verb है candidates, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आप phrasal verbs को यूज करें in your speaking to improve your band score. Phrasal verbs are important. This allowed him to knock down some dash. To knock down some dash. If you check in a same line it is mentioned that, see candidates, it is mentioned here, knock down the, it is mentioned, knock down the meat. So we will take answer as a meat. Candidates, it's important to just check and to match. Clear candidates? Knock down. A wild polar bear worked out a method of reaching a platform where a dash was located. Where a dash, again, article, a, helping verb singular was, help me to understand, reaching a platform where a dash was located. I am going back to the passage again, searching where they are talking about a male bear. See, a male bear. Where is a photographer standing on a platform? A photographer standing on a platform. A photographer standing on a platform where a dash was located. A means a photographer was located. Where he was located? He was located at a platform. So the preposition, the article helping me and telling me the correct answer. करेक्ट. अब यहां पर आपने एक चीज और नोटिस करा होगा कैंडिडेट्स, हमें फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स भी सीरियल ऑर्डर में मिल रहे हैं, बट ट्रू फॉल्स तो 110% मैंने कहा है कि वो आपको सीरीज में मिल रहे हैं. फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स में बहुत बार समरी होता है जहां पर हमें नहीं मिलता है, बट यस आपके ये जो टिप्स हैं ये 2022 की रीडिंग में आपकी बहुत हेल्प करेंगे रीडिंग को क्रैक करने के लिए. Polar bears have displayed behavior such as conscious manipulation of objects and activities similar to a dash. Again, similar to a means they are making a comparison with something to a dash. I'm going back to a paragraph. Again, checking comparison with them. They are saying, observe bears putting objects in piles and knocking them. Knocking them again, knock down. Remember phrasal verb. In what appeared to be a game. Now, if you check here, what is this similar to? This similar to a game. Again, adjective, article a will help you to find out the correct answer. So, candidates, it's important to check a game compared to a game. This will my answer. आर्टिकल से आर्टिकल को आपको मैच करना है कैंडिडेट्स, इस तरह की मैचिंग्स ही आपको आंसर्स के क्लोज लेके जाएंगी. Bears may also display emotions. For example, they may make movements suggesting dash. Suggesting dash if disappointed when hunting. Disappointing when hunting. So what type of emotion? Again, I am coming to the passage, checking for my emotions, where the emotions are mentioned. If you check here, it is clearly mentioned about their emotions. Correct na? That how they suffer from it. So here, in our emotions, if you check, it is mentioned that how they get frustration when they just missed out on a kill. Just missed out on a kill. So on a kill is a word used for hunting here. I told you, आपको अगर अपना vocabulary अच्छा करना है, speaking के लिए, writing के लिए, best way है आप इस तरह से reading में matchings करें. देखिए when hunting, when they just missed out on a kill. करेक्ट ना. किल इज हंटिंग और क्या होते हैं वो डिसअपॉइंटेड होते हैं. डिसअपॉइंटेड मींस अ नेगेटिव टोन. अगेन दे आर सेइंग दे जस्ट मिस्ड आउट, दैट्स व्हाई दे आर डिसअपॉइंटेड. सो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ बिहेवियर दे शो, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ इमोशंस दे शो एट दैट टाइम? इट्स वेरी फ्रस्ट्रेशन. करेक्ट. सो कैंडिडेट्स, करेक्ट, you have to check, you have to understand that how to find out the correct answers. But I am telling you, if you do such type of practice for your true false, आप true false में क्वेश्चन पढ़ें, क्वेश्चन के कीवर्ड्स बनाएं. जैसे ही आपके पास कीवर्ड है, आप कीवर्ड को पैसेज में स्कैन करेंगे. स्कैनिंग करना है, पूरा पैसेज नहीं पढ़ना. स्कैनिंग करें, वो कीवर्ड्स आपको जहां मिल रहे हैं, टेक दैट कंप्लीट फुल स्टॉप, मतलब पूरा सेंटेंस लें, उस सेंटेंस को इस तरह से मैच करें. पैराफ्रेजिंग करें, कंटेक्चुअल मीनिंग्स देखें, दोनों चीजें मैच हो रही हैं तो आंसर को ट्रू करें. फॉल्स के लिए मैंने आपको सजेस्ट करा है कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन पे जाएं. नॉट गिवन के लिए इंफॉर्मेशन कुछ ना कुछ कंपोनेंट मिस होगा. कीवर्ड्स कैसे बनाने हैं ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इसके लिए आई एम सजेस्टिंग यू कि कितना इंपॉर्टेंट उस पैसेज का, उस लाइन का वो एलिमेंट है, ये डिसाइड करेगा कि क्या हमारा कीवर्ड है। क्लियर कैंडिडेट्स? तो आप लोग प्रैक्टिस करें बहुत ज्यादा ट्रू फॉल्स का और फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स का। आप इसी तरह से रीडिंग करें सो दैट यू कैन इंप्रूव योर वोकैबुलरी, आपका वोकैबुलरी अच्छा हो। और इस चीज को नहीं भूलना है कि हमें अपना करेक्शन रेशियो भी अच्छा करना है और टाइम मैनेजमेंट भी देखना है। विद इन अ टाइम फ्रेज अगर हम अपना क्वेश्चन के करेक्ट आंसर्स देते हैं, दैट इज आवर सक्सेस। Thank you candidates for watching this video. We'll see you in the next tutorial. Till that time, stay safe, stay happy.